On Saturday, November the 4th, we lost a great man, husband, dad, grandpa, pop. My idea is to create a video diary of sorts to help me along with my healing. And if it helps someone out there somewhere that just happens to come across these, even better. I'm not saying it's going to be professional or maybe even consistent or comprehensive, coherent, whatever words you want to use. It may be a big mess, but it's something. Hey Dad, good morning. It is Wednesday. It's February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. I just dropped off Mom at work. Check at the bus stop, wear my cute heart sweater to work. The kids don't have a party today because the older grades are testing, but they will have it on Friday. They're gonna have their friendship party on Saturday. Not Saturday, Friday. And the parents aren't allowed to go again because of testing. So I don't know. Kind of feel glad about that because then the room won't be so crowded. But then it's like, who's gonna help us pass out stuff? We'll figure it out though. We can always just start a little earlier because it's at the end of the day closer to dismissal, so we don't want to like be late, of course, to dismissal. So let's see. Although that is around the time that I go and I take my break so that I could take Mom or bring Mom back home because she gets off at 2. So I'm gonna see if Claudia can pick her up that day so I could take my lunch earlier and be able to be there and help. I'm not gonna leave my co-teacher there by herself. But yeah, I'm in the car again. I think I decided this is a good place. There's lighting, and I can just, sit in here for a moment after I get back. And I was gonna say decompress, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. My mornings have actually gone pretty smoothly since I started getting up a little earlier and getting ready. Oh, yeah. Well, at least dressed and showered before I drop off Mom and Chunk. So the only thing is trying to beat Alexa. So, I mean, that's a good thing too, I guess. So that way I don't run too long with these videos and babble on and on and on. So, yeah. I did have a weird dream last night. First of all, I fell asleep pretty early. That's another good thing. I wake up earlier. I end up falling asleep earlier at night. And I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, what time is it? It was only midnight. I was like, what? Anyway, and then I went back to sleep and I was having such a weird dream that we were at work and we were out on the playground, but it didn't look like the playground at the school. It was like a big open like a yard area, and it was kind of fenced. I'm saying kind of because it was a fence, but it was pretty short. It was like not quite my height, like maybe to right here. So I mean, it was still enough for the little ones, but I mean, I'm 5'1", so it wasn't too tall anyway. But so we were sitting there, and I had one of my kiddos with me, and for whatever reason, I had some cans of tuna in my hand. It was 3 cans because 2 were closed and then 1 I had open, and I was like draining it. And so these 2 like teens or whatever, they're like older teens, came over and were like trying to bully me and the little girl that was with me into giving them the tuna. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I was like, here's these 2. I was like, but this one's open, so I don't know if you want it. And so he was sitting there trying to like snatch it out of my hand. And I was like, wait. You're going to cut my thumb. Hold on. I don't know. That was just an odd detail to remember, but I remembered that one vividly. And then, so I was like, okay, well, whatever, here. So I gave him to them. And then he like turned it upside down and he started draining it. But it was like a little too close to my little student. And so I was like, oh no, we got to get away from here because they're going to get that tuna juice on you. Again, a weird detail to remember, but I remember it. And then, so they started throwing like little twigs and leaves and little rocks at us. And I was like, you guys really need to go. You guys really need to go. I'm going to have to call the principal. And they're like, yeah, right, whatever. And so I got out my phone and I pretended to call the assistant principal, a really tall dude. And they were just kind of like, oh, I didn't beat Alexa. They were just kind of like looking at me like, sure. And then he happened to be coming out at that time. And so I started pointing. I yelled his name out. I was like, Mr. Blah, 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 blah. And he looked and I just kept pointing and I was like, right there. And so he like, it was like in the cartoons or an action movie. He just looked and he took off running. And so the two boys started running and he ended up catching up to one. And he like, caught him and like did again, like in the movies or whatever, like put his hands behind his back. And he's like, come on, you can't be here and this and that. And we have kids here and you're not allowed on the property, that kind of thing. And then he all of a sudden just slammed him on the ground. I was like, oh gosh, that can't be good. But yeah, it was a weird dream. And then after that, I went in and I had my lunch break with one of the other co-teachers. And for whatever reason, we had gone to, it was supposed to be Sonic, but it didn't look like Sonic. Because Sonic is a drive-in, like, you just, like, go and you sit in your stall. But this was like a go in and sit down kind of fast food. But it was Sonic food. I don't know if that makes sense. But, yeah. And we're sitting there waiting for our food for a long time. And I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't set my timer. Because usually I set my timer so I know, when my lunch is over and stuff. And it's been like almost an hour. I don't know. It was weird. But anyway, Alexa has already shooed me away because she turned off the porch light. Well, at least the sun's coming out. So that's good. But I still need to go in and pack my stuff. Not too much left to do. But, yep. Nonetheless, I have to get ready for work. So, all right, Dad. You take care. You get some rest and try not to worry about us too much.